Dr. Gurinder Singh, who is the Vice President of the Sikh Gurdwara in San Jose, California. His focus is religious education of young children to instill in them the Sikh values of compassion, truthfulness, hard work, and gratitude for the Almighty. He participates in interfaith meetings and conferences on Sikhism. He is also working with other organizations to raise funds for scholarships for poor students in India. He holds a PhD in physics and has worked as scientist and engineer at Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, Mumbai, India, Max Planck Institute in Stuttgart, Germany, IBM, Hitachi, and Western Digital in Silicon Valley here in the United States. He retired as a principal engineer from Western Digital in 2013, and his current technical interests are in the area of energy storage, in particular, lithium-ion batteries. So I turn it over to Dr. Gurinder Singh, who will speak to us about the Sikh Gurdwara tonight.
Let me share my screen. Give me a moment, please. You can all see my screen, please. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm really delighted to hear all these stories, the Japanese Americans and also the Asian Pacific Islanders and for the Vietnamese stories. Thank you for sharing. All these communities make this city a wonderful place to live in. I'm going to talk to you, before I move forward, want to thank also Erica and Dr. Yi for GVAN for organizing this. So this is a wonderful forum for all of us to share our experience. I'm going to tell you something about the Sikh Gurdwara San Jose and the impact it has on me, my community, and the other broader communities in the Bay Area and elsewhere. Before I go forward, let me share some definitions with you. The word Sikh means student or disciple. Guru means teacher or enlightener. And Gurdwara is the door to Guru. It's a place of worship for Sikhs, like a church for Christians. Now, in 1980s, the Sikh population increased rapidly in the Santa Clara County. At that time, the nearest Gurdwara was in Fremont, some 30 miles away from South San Jose. So need for a local place of worship was badly felt. We started very modestly. The Gurdwara was founded in San Jose, was founded in 1985. And we didn't have a building, so we met every Sunday in a community center to pray together. We bought our building, first building on South White Road, and it was a very small building. As you see, barely in the congregation hall, barely about 50 people could fit in. So we had to move out faster from there as this was totally inadequate. We didn't have enough parking. We found another building next to it, which was somewhat larger. It had a bigger parking lot. And then we also bought another piece of land next to it. So we had good amount of parking, but the building was very rundown and not to the standards that our kids would like to see and feel proud of. So we were looking for a more modern place, something that we could be proud of and comfortable with for our bigger community. Now, the present site that was zoned for a house of worship was bought by us in 1996. But as soon as we submitted the plans to the city and they asked for the opinion from the neighborhood, some different things happened. There was a misinformation challenge. You know, some members of the Evergreen community filed a petition to the City Planning Commission to not allow construction of the Gurdwara. I think all Asian communities have gone through that kind of resistance. They'd like us to be segregated and not to be part of the major community. Now, in the City Hall hearings, they use racial languages like no Sikh Jose. And some of their concerns they expressed were it will increase traffic, which was not true because all the religious activities happen in off-peak hours. And they also said it will affect their view of the hills, it will change the nature of the neighborhood, and they said many bad things about Sikhs. Of course, there were some others who had the fear of unknown. They had not known us for a long time or had no experience. You see here a meeting that was being held in Quimby Oak Junior High School, preaching against the Sikh Gurdwara San Jose building. I attended myself one of those meetings and tried to provide some information, but they started hooting me down. And of course, it broke down the meeting because several of the right-minded people started leaving the meeting. You see also say here, no Sikh Jose kind of posters, placards that they were carrying. In any case, what we did was we launched an information campaign, and our response was forming Evergreen Citizens for Diversity, community outreach, and open houses. At our Quimby Road modest site, we held open houses where our young and older volunteers, they explained what we were doing in the Gurdwara to the visitors. We had many, many visitors, thanks to them, and we changed many minds. And finally, the Gurdwara came into being. It's a very beautiful building. As you enter from the Gurdwara Avenue, it was previously called the Murillo Avenue. You see something like a waterfall type of fountains. And as you go up here to the entrance building, there are fountains again to the both sides, and there are two small halls. So this front portion was built as the phase one, and we moved there in 2004. The rest of the building was built later and was finally inaugurated in 2011. What you see here is the building has beautiful landscaping all around, and there are solar panels everywhere on every possible roof. So we are meeting all our energy needs using solar energy. So it's a very kind of a green initiative. And now the question is, why is this place significant for the Sikh community? You know, moment we had this place, we felt we have a new home. This is a place for us to mingle together, worship together, place to celebrate family events like weddings, birthdays, and of course, place to offer prayers for those departed. Sikhs have a tradition called langar. This is the free community kitchen. Here, anyone can come and have a free vegetarian meal. It's a kind of our practice of compassion for humanity and also equality for everyone. Many evergreen neighbors from different faiths join us regularly, and we really welcome them. We also have a Sunday school here. It's a place for our children to learn our mother tongue, our land, or their heritage language of Punjabi and Gurmukhi script. It's a script in which our scriptures are written. And they also learn, besides scriptures, history and the values taught by our gurus. Sikh Gurdwara San Jose also runs a free medical clinic for the community. Besides that, there are arrangements for sports, tutoring help, and scholarships for students. Now, Sikh Gurdwara San Jose is open to all and plays a broad role in the rest of the community. You know, it's a City of San Jose landmark, and it's rated as the second most beautiful Gurdwara in the world. It's also a city designated shelter in case of natural disasters. Sikhs believe in oneness of humanity, so people from all faiths are welcome. We participate in and support interfaith programs. Now, Gurdwara organizes several community health programs, like meals for the homeless shelters. Every month we take food there, warm meals. Then we also provide blankets and other supplies to the homeless. And during COVID-19, we opened our home and we gave food and supplies to those affected by COVID-19 pandemic. We even delivered it to their home if they called in. We provided gifts for the COVID-19 frontline workers. Also, we organized COVID-19 vaccination at our site and invited the neighborhood to take advantage of it. And when COVID-19 broke out on India, we collected money and sent very expensive medical equipment for them to help them there. Now, this place has been very significant for me and my family. And I'm going to share that experience with you. Basically, it comes from that if you volunteer, you really gain yourself. You're not only giving, but you're also getting a lot. Since 1989, my wife, Gurinder Singh, and myself have been directing the activities of the Sunday school. And this experience has enriched our lives immensely. I've gained experience of working with and directing a team of 20 professionals, managing 15 different activities of the school. Pushpinder has developed the best curriculum for teaching Punjabi as a second language. It's being used in over 70 Sunday schools like ours. And she is coordinating over 80 volunteer teachers, teaching over 700 teachers. And based on her experience, she was invited to lead the UC Davis team to develop the curriculum for their Punjabi Without Walls online program that was launched fall this year. This is a big honor for her, and our children have also benefited from this experience. This is a picture of the books that she has written, divided into 8 levels for teaching Punjabi as a second language. I want to share with you one Sikh identity challenge that the K through 12 Sikh children face. Sikhs have a special appearance due to the following. Sikhs are required to keep unshorn hair on the head and facial hair, not cut their facial hairs or shave them. Sikh men and older boys wear a turban to cover the hair. You see here a young boy wearing a small piece of cloth, it's called patka. And like me, I am wearing a turban. And then the young girls, they keep long hair and they braid them into beautiful braids. But Sikh children, they are a minority in schools. They often get bullied in schools due to differences in appearance. This hurts their self-confidence, academic performance, and many forsake their identity. We need to stop that. My 3 takeaways for 5th to 9th graders are: Sikh Gurdwara San Jose stands for oneness of the whole community. Anyone, irrespective of gender, race, or religion, is welcome here. There's no plan or no effort to convert anyone. It's basically welcoming everyone and trying to understand everyone. I want to tell the 5th to 9th graders that 6 students in your class are like any other student except for their appearance. Please talk to them about their identity. We all need to learn about each other. I also want them to learn that the people at Sikh Gurdwara San Jose are compassionate and responsible citizens and are making important contributions to the local communities. Do I have another couple of minutes? If yes, I can just share a couple of other slides. This is a scene when we broke the ground for the site. Here we not only invited the 5 Sikh priests to break the ground, but we also invited representatives of 5 faiths: Buddhism, Islam, Christianity, Hinduism, and Judaism to come and break the ground. It's again showing our respect for all the faiths. We have good rapport with the city and the county officials. We celebrate every year the festival of Diwali, or also called the Festival of Lights. Very large number of people from Indian communities come and participate here. Pre-pandemic, sometimes we could have 10,000 guests. And this shows the beautiful earthen lamps that they light. We also have every year a 5K walk to raise money for the homeless. Where a lot of evergreen community people participate. This shows us serving hot meals at the homeless shelter, and this happens every month. This is how the flat Bread is prepared in our community kitchen. Lots of volunteers participate into it. On every 4th of July, we invite the neighborhood to participate in what we call as ice cream social. They all come up there, and since we are up on the hill, they get a very nice view of the fireworks in the city. We also have Troop 600, the Sikh Boy Scouts of America, and they interact with the Boy Scouts all over the country. Now, many of our students are now doctors, engineers, and excelling in other professions. Many of them are in lead positions in Google, Facebook, Microsoft, Apple, and other US corporations. And as I said, my family benefited quite a bit. Our son, he started, Tejinder Singh, he started public speaking in our Sunday school. He became the top debater in US at college level. He later became the first urban Sikh attorney to argue cases before Supreme Court of the United States. And our daughter learned the value of compassion here. She chose to be an MD in OBGYN. And she says, I feel rewarded when I see my patients leave with a smile on their face and with their newborn in their arms. I'll finish here. Thank you. Thanks for listening.